Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Longevity Blueprint podcast. Today, my guest is Jen Broyles. She's a holistic health coach. I'm going to read that again. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Longevity Blueprint podcast. Today, my guest is Jen Broyles. She is a holistic health coach, SOMA Breathwork Instructor, and essential oils specialist who helps individuals restore and optimize their health by calming the nervous system and addressing the root cause of their symptoms. Jen has had a specialty in gut health, chronic stress, and anxiety, and recognizes that imbalances in the gut and an overstimulated nervous system can lead to imbalances throughout the mind, body, and spirit. She combines breathwork, essential oils, and other holistic modalities to help clients create a lifestyle of health and vitality. Her personal story is what inspired her to educate and guide others. She dealt with digestive issues, anxiety, and hormone imbalances for years and was unable to find relief from conventional medicine. She left her career in pharmaceutical sales and returned to school to study integrative nutrition, followed by training in essential oils and breath work. She believes that nourishing the mind, body, and soul with healing food, self-love, and healthy emotional processing leads to a transformative healing experience. You can visit her website for wellness resources, breathing techniques, and essential oil guidance at www.jenbroyles, that's BROYLES.com. So welcome to the show, Jen.
Thank you, Dr. Stephanie. I'm super excited to be here.
So tell me why you became a holistic health coach and ultimately how you discovered breathwork.
All right, so I will do my best to make a long story short, but I found the world of natural health really through trying to solve some health issues that I was experiencing at the time. And I think that's true for a lot of us in the natural health world as practitioners. We're either working on ourselves or we're trying to help a loved one, right? And oftentimes we go the conventional route, and for one reason or another, that just isn't sufficient. And so we start to look elsewhere. And that was the case for me. And this was, over, about 10 years ago. I was working pharmaceutical sales, had a great career, really believed in the conventional model of medicine. That's really all I knew. That's what I grew up with. But I, at the time, was experiencing some chronic digestive issues that just got labeled as IBS. And, I managed it the best I could. And for a long time, I didn't really even do anything about it or seek help until it got to the point where I needed help. I was in too much discomfort. And also over time, it started, spiraling into other symptoms as well, like hormone imbalances and mood imbalances and skin issues and just a whole host of things. And so I found myself, in my mid-20s, seeing numerous different specialists, thinking that all these symptoms were completely separate and not related, and on a bunch of medications, everything from birth control to antidepressants to skin meds and gut meds, and nothing was really working. And I just felt there had to be a better way and a better solution. And so that's when I started, diving into books about nutrition and really learning there, because I didn't know a whole lot about nutrition, and what I thought I knew, I learned was mostly false. And the more I read, the more I discovered the world of integrative medicine and functional medicine and alternative healthcare and all these things. And it just kind of sparked this passion within me that I was meant to go down this path and share this knowledge with others, because I felt it wasn't readily available. I had to search for it. And so I went back to school. I left my career in pharmaceutical sales. I went back to school. I studied integrative nutrition. And from there, it has really been a journey of expanding in that realm as well, and bringing in other tools and modalities for healing that are natural and safe. So like essential oils, and then also breath work. Breath work is a practice that's been incredibly transformative for me. And I had no idea that, the way you breathe can make such an impact. So that's a little bit about how I got to where I am now. It's been a journey, but it's been a fun process at the same time. So.
Well, we're going to talk more about breath work today. I'll tell you before we started recording today, we were talking, and I had told Jen that my all I know about breath work is deep breathing and that it's really important, that it's calming to the nervous system. My experience with it had been that I do some public speaking and I was at a conference speaking, and I usually get a little nervous before I step up on stage, which is normal. But at this particular conference, I was also pregnant early on in my pregnancy. So I thought I was going to be even more nervous to like get up there, being pregnant, whatnot, and have to speak and tired. But we had done deep breathing multiple times at that conference that day. And I just found myself kind of walking up on stage like, I'm not even nervous. What's going on? And I reflected back later thinking, the only other thing I did different, other than the fact that I was pregnant, was that we had incorporated deep breathing all throughout that day. And I'm convinced, and I have been convinced since, and now every time before I public speak, I practice some deep breathing, that was the most helpful intervention that I could have unintentionally experimented with that day, because it taught me how calming it was for me. And so that was just one, personal testimony that I have to the practice of breath work and deep breathing. But I know there are different ways to practice breath work. So what is breath work, and why is this so important to incorporate daily for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So breath work really is breathing in, breathing intentionally, right? Breathing is one of those functions. I find it so fascinating because it is a function that is controlled by our autonomic nervous system. It happens in the background. We don't have to think about it. We breathe when we sleep, we breathe when we're working, we're breathing all the time, whether we're consciously thinking about it or not. But it is one function at the same time that we can control and we can manipulate and we can change, right? And we were never given a manual on how to properly breathe. You just kind of do it naturally. But the problem is that as we grow up and we're bombarded by stress in our daily life, our breathing patterns start to change. And so if you really tune into your breath, especially maybe if you're working on a project or you're watching the news or whatever it may be, really check in with your breath and see how you're breathing. And most often you're going to find that you're breathing very shallow breaths, really through the chest, or you're holding your breath. A lot of people say, oh my God, I didn't even realize I was holding my breath. I'm not even breathing. Or you're breathing in and out through your mouth. And oftentimes, if you evaluate it over a period of time, you'll find that you're breathing pretty erratic. So it's not a consistent pace. It's like really fast and then maybe really slow. And then you take a deep breath in and then you sigh it out and then find that you're holding your breath, and it's just all over the place. And that completely disturbs all of the functions in your body. There's so many functions in our body that work in a rhythm. Our breath is one of them, or at least it needs to be. And when it's not in a proper rhythm, then it throws off all the other rhythms in our body, our heart rate, our blood pressure, our digestion, among others. And it can lead to other, chronic imbalances, hormones, weakened immune system, you name it. And so with breath work, we're tuning into our breath and we're consciously influencing how we're breathing to begin to influence our autonomic nervous system and improve digestion and heart health and blood pressure and immune function and all these other things. And there's a lot of different forms of breath work out there, but the type of breath work I teach is called SOMA breath. And it's taking these fundamental pranayama techniques from, ancient civilizations and combining it with beat-driven music. And so we're breathing in a rhythm to some fantastic music. And this rhythmic breathing starts to create coherence in the body. And we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And like you mentioned in your experience, it's incredibly calming to the nervous system. It helps bring harmony to all the systems in the body. It allows us to go into a deeper meditative state. So I call breath work, I call it my meditation on steroids, because, if you're someone like me who sometimes had trouble meditating because your mind is racing and you've got so many thoughts and you just can't seem to focus and get grounded, breath work is an incredible tool because it gets you into a deep meditative state really quickly. It's really amazing. So that's a little bit about what it is. And we can go into the deeper specifics if you want to.
So, yeah, I guess my question is what makes Soma breathwork different from other breathwork? But it sounds like the music, the rhythm, right? Or what else
Oh, I'm
differentiates?
yeah. So what, sorry, you cut out for a second. So what differentiates it?
Yeah, I mean, you hear about box breathing, right? So you where you would breathe in for four, maybe hold for four, out for four. You hear
Yeah.
about different styles of breathing. I think just slowing down the breath is period beneficial. But
Mhm.
what makes Soma breathing different? Is it the music or is there more than
So it's more than that too. So yes, you hear box breathing or 4-7-8 breathing. All of these are great, and I knew about these before I discovered breath work. I know for me, and I think for a lot of us, when we think of those types of breathing, we may do it for like a minute or two, and we're like, okay, I'm done, I'm good. With an actual breath work practice, like if you were to come to a breath work session, it's going to be an hour-long session. Okay, so we're breathing for a long period of time. Now, you can get the benefits in 15 to 20 minutes a day, which is beautiful.
sure.
But if you go to a full session and really want to dive deep, we're breathing for about 45 minutes or so. And with Soma, yes, we're breathing in a rhythm for most of the time. So it might be in for four and out for four, or in for two and out for two. We change up the rhythms throughout, and in more advanced sessions, we may bring in some faster rhythms as well. And then at the end of each round of rhythmic breathing, we're incorporating some other things. We are doing breath retentions. So we're holding our breath, and this is also called intermittent hypoxia. And what this is doing, there's a lot of benefits with intermittent hypoxia. That again, we've known this for a long time. Ancient civilizations used to use this, and now the science is starting to back up the benefits of rhythmic breathing, but also intermittent hypoxia. And so what we're doing with that in terms of holding the breath is we're lowering the oxygen levels in the body for a period of time. And we're doing this intentionally and only for a brief period of time. And so your body starts to adapt to having less oxygen and become more efficient in producing energy. And we're also putting a positive stress response on the body. So you, over time, can become more resilient to
Mm.
stressful situations, which is really, really helpful. And this is also a time where you can tap into your subconscious mind and go into a deep meditative state and really begin to reprogramming imprints that may have been formed in early childhood that might not be serving you, and start to reprogram those and form new beliefs. And we do that through the guide. So through the breathwork instructor, we are saying we're saying affirmations during the breath work, and so you can start to say those to yourself and let them really sink in. And you're more programmable in this state, so you can start to fill your mind with more positive affirmations and more empowering beliefs. So we use affirmations. We use visualization in the breath work. So we combine a lot of different things into the breath work. So it's more than just breathing a certain way.
Okay.
We're doing it for longer periods of time, and we're doing other activities with it. So it's a really powerful meditative experience.
So, what do you recommend for your clients? Is this something that they should be practicing daily, like doing a 45-minute session every day or more like a 20-minute session? What do you do personally?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I personally feel like, 15 to 20 minutes a day is a beautiful daily practice. And then when you want to go deeper, whether it's once a week or once every couple of weeks or maybe a couple times a week, doing a 30 to 45-minute session is really, really powerful. And then I'll sometimes even do an hour-long session, like a full-on hour of this Soma breath. And so you really have to find that combination that works for you. But I know a lot of people seem to be more strapped for time. They want to do something that doesn't take a lot of time. And I would say you can do so much in 20 minutes of this breath work. So you can go deep. You can really go in with an intention of what you want to create, what you want to perhaps let go of, what you want to bring into your life. And get that in 20 minutes. And of course, just like with anything, it's a practice. One thing I will say about breath work, at least for me, when I attended a Soma breathwork class, I felt incredible after the first session. Like so much so I was like, I want to do more of this. Like it, it wasn't like this buildup. It was like one session. I was like, oh my God, that was the most incredible experience ever. How do I do more? And so people feel it after one session to the point that they want more of it. But it's just like meditation and anything else where it is a daily practice. And the more you do it, the deeper you can go in the less amount of time as well. So
Sure, that makes sense. Kind of like meditation. It takes you a while to kind of figure out how to meditate, but the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Exactly.
So I'm taking from this that breathwork was very helpful for you for many of your symptoms that you've had. So let's get into that a little bit. So how can incorporating breathwork really help with hormone regulation and gut health? And how did that translate into helping you personally?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, I bring it back to just balancing the entire body. So much of healing from something chronic, that one of the things that you have to do is calm the nervous system and calm that stress response, right? Because if you're constantly in that fight or flight, sympathetic driven nervous system response, then your body is not in a state where it can actually heal, because it thinks it needs to, fight, flight, or freeze, or it feels like it needs to survive, like there's a threat present. So until we can really start to calm that down, it's difficult to experience full and complete healing. You may some benefit from cleaning up your diet, which I always recommend to do, and perhaps getting some exercise and all of these things, but really addressing the nervous system is really, really important. And so with breath work, you can do that. You can influence that nervous system really quickly. And what I love about the rhythmic breathing piece is that slow, diaphragmatic, rhythmic breathing has been shown to reduce stress, not only over the short term or even the long term, but like instantly. So like you feel it instantly. And that's powerful, because many of us go to other alternatives, stress relief, that may not be as healthy. So just doing some deep breathing can provide some instant stress relief, and then it carries into the long term. It reduces oxidative stress in the body. So again, like calming the stress in the body, allowing the body to be in a place for healing, calming inflammation as well. It increases heart rate variability. It facilitates lymphatic drainage in the body. And rhythmic breathing has been linked to healing and improving symptoms of IBS. So this is powerful. So for people with gut issues, really tuning into how you breathe is going to be really important, because chances are you're breathing erratic, so your digestion's erratic. But if you can really start to focus on deep rhythmic breathing, you're going to really start to calm things down. And again, it's the consistent practice of it. This breathing pattern also really helps to kind of stimulate self-healing throughout the body. We're supporting the immune system. We are, again, we're calming that inflammation in the body. We're calming the nervous system. It allows our bodies to heal. I had one breathwork client say that, in one of her sessions, the chronic pain that she had been experiencing on a daily basis, like, went away during the breathwork session. That's powerful. So people feel it sometimes immediately. It reduces depression and anxiety. And we know that gut-brain connection, and a lot of people with gut issues are also experiencing the mood imbalances as well. So it really is a whole body approach, mind, body, and spirit, and really addressing all of these different components.
That was a very thorough answer. Yeah. So it sounds like breath work obviously is calming the nervous system, which I discuss with my patients also, and that stress is our body's biggest hormone hijacker. So if we have our sympathetic, our fight or flight, gas pedal on full speed, that can rob us of our immune system being able to fight the fight It can cause actually blood sugar dysregulation, right, leading to prediabetes, diabetes, cardiovascular disease. It can rob us of hormones. So that is parallel to mood challenges or mood disturbances. When we're not hormonally sound, we can have very poor moods, very poor sleep. That can also then lead to cardiovascular risk, whatnot. It sounds like what you were listing off also, I was trying to take notes here, is that this can even induce better lymphatic drainage, which translates into detox. So it can even help us detox. And if it's helping us detox, that's also going to reduce risk of chronic disease. Help reduce inflammation, helps with blood flow throughout the body. So who shouldn't be doing this? No one. We all should be incorporating this.
Yes.
Is there a time of the day that you recommend is best? Patients have asked me this before, and I don't know if the answer, I'll tell you how I answer them. Sometimes I say, well, we should start our day off with this practice because I'd rather have them get it in than not get it in, right? Just like starting your day with meditation. But then I also think, well, sometimes when I'm really stressed later on in the day, that's the time that I need it the most. So sometimes my answer to patients is do it when you need it. So how do you answer that? Would you answer that question? What's the best time of day to incorporate this?
And I think your answer is beautiful. I mean, we just want people to get it in. And so whatever time works for you, but there are better times. So the best times are first thing in the morning or at night before bed, because that's when your brain is more in a space for going into a deep meditative state anyways, because you're either coming out of sleep or your body is preparing to go into sleep. So those brain waves are changing into more alpha state instead of the high stress beta. And so you're more likely to be able to go deeper into the breath work in those times. Like you said, it's a great way to start your day first thing in the morning, but also breath work is an amazing wind down tool at night before bed to help you sleep better. But if your time, like if you have a super busy day and the only time you can fit it in is during lunch, then do it, do it in a time that works for you. And even if it's 10 minutes, you can get the benefit. So I would say do what works for you, but morning and evening are the best.
Sure. So what other tools do you use with breath work in your practice?
Yeah. So breath work is key, but also just like we talked about, nutrition, cleaning up the diet, fueling your body with healing foods and nutrient dense foods. I use essential oils a ton, and I use them in my breath work. So I find that the blend of essential oils plus the breath work enhances the experience because we know the emotional benefit of using essential oils. Certain oils like floral oils are very calming, so they're great at reducing stress and anxious feelings. And other oils like citrus oils are very energizing and uplifting, so they help boost positivity, improve the mood, energize the body and the mind. And so incorporating specific essential oils into the breath work, either using them topically or in a diffuser, is a really powerful experience.
Go back to the floral oils. So what are your top favorite floral oils that are calming?
Oh my goodness, this is a tough question. No, I love lavender. That's one that everyone's familiar with.
Sure.
Ylang ylang is one of my favorites. I just love the way it smells. It's super happy. Roman chamomile is another one. Rose, jasmine. I could go on, but those are a few.
I've heard cedarwood is calming. Is that correct?
Cedarwood is calming. So tree oils are very grounding. And yes, so they have that super calming ability as well. Cedarwood is great to use for sleep or just for calming during the day. Frankincense is probably my number one most favorite oil. It has those great grounding abilities, and it's great to use in breath work because it really has been shown to help you tap into your spirituality and in your meditation practice. So that's a nice one too.
Cool. Wonderful. So we kind of already went over this when I was elaborating on all the benefits that you had mentioned, but who should practice SOMA breathwork?
Yeah, so anyone and everyone can benefit from SOMA breathwork. If you're feeling stressed, you can benefit. If you feel like you struggle with meditation, you can benefit. If you're someone that loves to meditate, then you're probably going to love breathwork. If you are working on physical healing, then this may be beneficial to you as well. Or if you're wanting to optimize, peak performance in your career, then this is a great way to improve cognitive function and maintain focus and clarity and concentration. So all of those, are beneficial. But when it comes to the intermittent hypoxia piece, the breath retention, there are some contraindications there in terms
Okay.
of certain health conditions I'm happy to list out.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, great. So with intermittent hypoxia, so again, like I said, with SOMA, we do rhythmic breathing, and then we go into a period of breath retention. And the breath retention is contraindicated, in cases of COPD, specifically COPD-1 and I believe 2 and 3. And those with cancer, unless it's been prescribed by a doctor, because every person is different, and sometimes it can be beneficial. Other times we want to be careful, and so that would need to be prescribed by a doctor. People with epilepsy, pacemakers, heart arrhythmia, unless they're under medical supervision. And then pregnancy, we want to leave out those breath holds as well. So, but the rhythmic breathing piece is super safe.
Wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to share about breath work and how it's transformed your life?
I would just encourage everyone to try it, because for me, I was skeptical. It took me hearing about it. It took several people recommending breath work before I actually gave it some attention and said, okay, you know what, this has come up multiple times. And so maybe I need to pay attention to it and at least look into it. And I'm so glad I did. I was able to experience a variety of modalities of breath work and find the one that I really liked, that I wanted to use in my daily practice. And I just had no idea that, breathing in a certain way could transform how I feel, how I, viewed the world, and viewed possibilities, and also just relieving anxiety and stress, and just feeling more calm. So again, you can experience the benefits after one session. So I would say give it a try and see what you think.
So how does someone give it a try? We're actually going to give it a try here.
We
Spoiler
are,
alert in
I
just a minute.
know.
But how else would someone give this a try? Do they need to find a SOMA practitioner to guide them through this, or how would one give this a try?
Yeah, I mean, it's best to find a practitioner, and a lot of us do online sessions. So especially right now, at the time of this recording, I'm doing pretty much everything online. And so, I do private sessions, but I also do group classes as well. I have a free downloadable breathwork meditation that you can grab if you go to jenbroyles.com/breathwork. It's a 20-minute guided breathwork meditation. And so that's a great way to see if you like it for free.
And then they could essentially sign up to work with you online if they wanted to continue.
Of course.
Wonderful. Yeah. And then I think you also have a group online program, or?
I do. So I have a community called the Sacred Breath Community. And when you're part of this community, you get access to free live online group classes, as well as additional audio breathwork meditations. I add new ones each month. And so, it's a great database of breathwork meditations that you can use. And right now I am offering a 2-week free trial, so you can sign up and give it a try for 2 weeks.
Wonderful. Before we get into practicing this, what would your top longevity tip be?
Oh my gosh, top longevity tip. I think it's to shift your beliefs and perceptions.
You just cut out there.
And restoration is possible. Your body is a powerful healing tool. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I would say it would be all about, I'm sorry. Yes. What?
You cut out. I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Yeah.
Let me ask the question again, and then they can edit it. So what would your top longevity tip be?
So my top longevity tip, I mean, there's so many, but I would say go really tuning into your beliefs about what is possible in your body, what's possible for you, what's possible in healing. And I think when you really tune in to your beliefs and start to reframe some of those beliefs that might not be serving you, then that just opens the doors to health, well-being, and longevity, and knowing that you have this self-healing capability within you.
Beautiful. Well, I'm excited we're going to get to try some of this SOMA breathwork.
I am
So
too. Yes.
we have to, from a logistics standpoint, make Jen host here for Zoom. So I'm going to make her
Yeah.
host, and then we will let her guide us
All
in a
right.
session here. So I would say go ahead, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. We have time. So
Great,
I'm
great.
gonna
So let me just explain it again really quickly. So I'm going to play some music. You're going to hear breathing sounds in the music, and then I'll count you off as well. I know with Zoom, sometimes there is a slight delay. So really
sure.
tune into the music and hear the breathing sounds. We're going to be breathing in through the nose for 4 and out through the mouth for 4. In for 4, out for 4. And then at the end of the rhythmic breathing round, I'm going to invite you to take a big breath fully in and fully out. And you're going to hold your breath. And this is the breath retention. And so you'll hold your breath for as long as you can and allow yourself to go into a deep meditative space. And then after a little while, I'll invite you to take a big breath fully in and hold your breath on the inhale. And at the same time, you're going to tighten those pelvic floor muscles. We call this the Mula Bandha lock. And imagine shooting energy up from your root chakra, up through your spine, into your midbrain. This creates a nice rush of blood flow and oxygen to the brain. It helps improve cognitive function and creativity. It also helps boost those feel-good neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. You're gonna hold that inhale, and then I'll invite you to fully exhale. And so we'll just do one round, but at least you'll get a feel for how this works. Sound good?
Okay. Yes.
Right. So let me share my screen and pull up my music. All right, and I'm going to turn the music on. And Stephanie, if for some reason you don't hear it, please let me know.
Sure. I can hear it.
Great, great. All right. So begin just starting to slow your breath. Close your eyes. And perhaps bring to mind something you're grateful for. Maybe it was something that happened in the past or something that happened today. Just bring an experience to your mind that creates a feeling of gratitude. You continue to breathe slowly. Start to feel the feelings of gratitude. Start to embody them. And as we begin to breathe in a rhythm, I want you to carry these feelings of gratitude with you and allow them to deepen and strengthen. Let's begin to breathe in beats. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Building up that energy, that life force deep within. In, out. Breathing in gratitude. gratitude, breathing out love. Feeling those feelings of bliss and good feelings building up and up. Stimulating good vibrations, good sensations. With every exhale, letting go of any remaining tension. Breathing in more bliss, gratitude on every inhale. Going deeper and deeper into a state of bliss. Keep breathing, keep connecting. big breath fully in and fully out. Holding your breath. Enjoy this moment of stillness as you go deep into a meditative state. If you get an urge to breathe, just take a quick breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And continue to hold. You are amazing. You are a miracle. You have everything you need to achieve infinite health, abundance, joy, love, peace. This is your truth. This is who you truly are. You are whole, perfect, strong, loving, harmonious, healthy, and happy. When you get a big urge to breathe, take a big breath fully in. Squeeze those pelvic floor muscles. Imagine that energy shooting up through the spine, up into the midbrain. Imagine a beautiful, healing white light radiating out your third eye. Hold your breath. And then exhale with a sigh of good feelings. Welcome back.
That was great. I don't want to wake up. No.
I know.
I was envisioning different music that was much more rhythmic, but it was easy to breathe that way with the beats. I like that. I added some visual imagery of myself. I felt like I was in the jungle with the
Yes, with the music, right?
But yet I was saying you're relaxing in a hammock in the jungle.
I love that. Yes, bringing in your own visions. That is just so beautiful. Yes. Yes. So that's a small piece of what a full session would be like. Mm-hmm.
I can see how that could get very addicting because it is, despite the music actually being rhythmic and almost more upbeat. I mean, it wasn't just to put you to sleep music. I mean, it was very welcoming, and I think I could see myself listening to that every day. I like that. That was great.
Oh, great.
Well, thank you.
You're
thank
welcome.
you so much for coming on the show today. This has been a great reminder for me how important breath work is. And I hope all my patients who are listening will try to incorporate this into their lives. And I want my staff to incorporate this as well. Everybody needs this. So we will post all the links for where listeners can connect with you to get more of the benefit of SOMA breathing. So thank you, Jen, so much today for coming on the show and helping us relax, calm our nervous systems.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.